What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Today I'm super excited because we are doing a really fun new kind of like video trend that I've been seeing going around in the beauty community, which is where I basically break down for you guys my top 3 favorites in every single category of makeup. So it's like a really like high-powered favorites video, and I thought this was great because I don't really do favorites videos on my channel. So sometimes if I'm not testing a new product on camera and talking to you guys about it, like I don't actually get to share with you sometimes some of my all-time absolute favorite products. A lot of these you guys will have heard me talk about before, but some of them may be new as well that I use all the time. So I thought this video was a really cute idea, and the original creator of this video I believe is Julia Adams. So shout out to her for this awesome idea. And yeah, I'm just gonna break down my absolute favorites in every single category, and in almost every single category I made sure to include at least one drugstore product as well, because you guys know I love drugstore stuff to begin with, and I'm always here to find you guys a good deal. So make sure you guys subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and click the little bell right next to the subscribe button so you can get notified of all my future uploads. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm just gonna go in the order as to how I apply products to my face. So up first we have primer. For my favorite primers, I actually have 2 drugstore, 1 to high end. So the high end primer is from Tarte. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Pore and Prime Balm. This is what I've been reaching for. Oh, excuse me, she's mad at me, I guess. This is what I've been reaching for most frequently. You guys can see in the center, I'm starting to hit pan, but it's basically like a pore filling balm that you can apply to your skin before makeup. It does a really great job of blurring the skin. I absolutely love it. And also for these top 3 categories, like obviously there are so many products that I love, but these are kind of like the top 3 ones that I am reaching for as of right now that are favorites. There's so many more products that I could do like a top 50 of every category, because obviously I try new and different makeup all the time, but these are like the favorites that I'm reaching for as of right now. So love this one. Also love the drugstore dupe for it, which is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I absolutely love this. I do think the Tarte one works a bit better, but the e.l.f. one is at a much cheaper price point, and I use this one very frequently as well. Does a really nice job of smoothing the skin and filling in your pores, especially if you have a lot of texture like I do. They're great primers for that. And last but not least, this is probably honestly my most used primer. I use it as a primer, but I also use it on its own. I think technically this is like a liquid bronzer, liquid highlight kind of thing. It calls itself a natural glow enhancer, but I include it in primer because that's typically how I use it. This is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion. I absolutely love this. It gives the most beautiful glow to the skin. Even on no makeup days, if I just want a little bit of glow to the skin, this is what I go in with. It's beautiful. I love it. I've used it for years. It comes in 3 different shades, and I just have the medium one, but there is a lighter one and a deeper one. All right, up next for foundations. The first one we already know. Too Faced Born This Way. I absolutely love this. I'll always love this. It's an amazing foundation. Medium to buildable coverage. It mimics natural skin. Comes in a billion different shades. I normally wear shade Natural Beige for like shade reference if you want to check it out, but I love it. It's long wearing. It's beautiful. Always been one of my favorites. A newer favorite is the Tarte Amazonian Clay. So Tarte recently reformulated their Amazonian Clay foundation because that's been around for a while. It used to be a lot thicker and a lot heavier, and it wasn't one of my favorites, but the new one I really, really like. This is a matte foundation, so I wanted to include it since the other foundations I have are more like natural or dewy finishes. But for my oily skin girls or people that just like a matte finish, this is a really great foundation, and I have dry skin and I can still wear it. It's not drying on the skin. When they reformulated it, they really made it much lighter on the skin, and it gives major coverage. This is super full coverage, gonna cover up like anything you need. You really don't even need concealer with it, and I have definitely been reaching for this a lot. I do have an affiliate code with Tarte too. It's code Kelly if you guys want to use it. It'll give you 15% off of your order, so feel free to use that if you want to get anything from them. But it'll work on this foundation, the primer, and you know, everything that they have. And last but not least, I have the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. For this year, this has definitely been my go-to drugstore foundation. It's beautiful on the skin. I actually think it mimics the Too Faced Born This Way quite a bit. It's a natural finish, medium to buildable coverage, feels really nice in the skin, but it's still long wearing. I really, really like this. I don't love the smell on it. It definitely has like that chemical kind of smell. It does have SPF in it, so it's kind of like a chemically SPF sort of smell, but if you can get over the smell, it really is a good foundation, and I do really like it. All right, up next, we're gonna move to concealers. So this was one category that was actually really hard for me. There were some that I knew for sure, like the first one, Tarte Shape Tape. You guys know I love this. I love the new Ultra Creamy one as well. I just grabbed the original. I love both of them. The original gives a little bit more coverage, but it's a little bit more dry, versus the Ultra Creamy is more creamy, gives a little bit less coverage. They're both amazing, so this has always been an OG of mine. You guys already know that. Recently, I've been grabbing for the Hourglass Vanish Concealer a lot. This is very full coverage. It's gonna cover up anything that you need, but it's not matte really. It's more of like a natural finish, so this pairs really nicely with Too Faced Born This Way, and I do really like this concealer as well. I don't love the Hourglass Vanish foundation, but the concealer, Yes, love this. And now this is the only category that I have 4 things because I couldn't pick between these 2 and I really love them both and wanted to include both of them. So this is a newer concealer that I really have been loving. This is the Haley's Beauty Rewind Blurring Full Coverage Concealer. It has like a metal applicator and it just feels so smoothing and cooling on the skin. It's full coverage, but it's not drying. So I really, really love this. But then I also wanted to include a drugstore option as well. And my favorite from the drugstore would be the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This is great. I like the original better than the dewy version of this, but there is a dewy version if you need something with a little bit more moisture in it. But this is gonna give you full coverage, cover up anything you need, and be long wearing. All right, up next, we're gonna jump into powders. So first one we have is Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana, and I debated even putting this in here because it's getting increasingly harder to find, but you can still find it on Amazon. And sometimes you can find it in store at like Dollar General and other places. You guys always DM me when you find it, which I love, but I love this. It's literally like $3 from Wet n Wild. Sometimes you can get it for even cheaper, and it's technically a bronzer. That's what they categorize it as, but it's a really light powder, and I like to use this to set my under eyes. It sets your concealer, adds a little brightness. It's super affordable and love that. So set all over my face, the powder that I've been reaching for the most is the Laura Mercier. This is the translucent loose setting powder, but this is the honey version. So the original translucent loose setting powder is a really great setting powder, but it does add a slight white cast to your skin, where the honey version doesn't because it's tinted. It has a little bit of a tint to it, as you guys can see in there. It almost looks like a little bit yellowy, but on the skin, it doesn't come off at all, and it just sets your makeup while not giving you that white cast. So I really, really love this. It's great, and it definitely increases the long wear of your makeup. Whenever I know I'm gonna be going somewhere and I need to wear like a mask or something, this is always the powder I go for because I feel like it does the best job of keeping your makeup on. Also, really, really love the Hourglass Vanish Translucent Setting Powder Veil. Hourglass Vanish Veil, or no. It's just the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. This I love. This one does not really give you a white cast. It is a translucent powder. It sets your skin, but it doesn't dry you out. I have dry skin, so a lot of loose setting powders can just make me super cakey and dry, and this one doesn't do that. It's fabulous. Alrighty, up next for brows, I have the CoverGirl Brow Stylist Definer. This is my everything. I love this. Super affordable because it's drugstore, and it's a great dupe for the Anastasia Brow Wiz. It's a super tiny little brow pencil. You get a spoolie on the other side, and I go through these like water. Love that. Also love the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. The shades in these are really good. Like shade 3 in this is like perfect for me, so I really like that. It's a tiny little pencil and then a spoolie on the other side. I think this one is shade 3.5, but I normally just use shade 3. But this is a great brow pencil. It doesn't have too much wax in it or anything and not gonna make your brows look fake. And then a recent favorite that I've been grabbing for a lot because I've really been into the more like lifted kind of laminated brow look. So I've been incorporating more brow gels into my routine because previously I didn't really use a lot of brow gels because I don't have that much brow hair, so I never really needed to like tame it. But now I like want it to like stick up. So this I really like. This is from Tarte. This is the Sketch and Set. So it's dual-sided. One side has a little brow pencil and then the other side has a tinted brow gel, which is really nice for my girls like myself that don't have a ton of brow hair. I feel like tinted brow gels really help to add texture and depth to your brows, especially if they're on the thinner side. So I really, really like this and love how it's like an all-in-one kind of product. So I've been reaching for this a ton recently. Alrighty, up next we have blushes. I have been so into cream blushes recently, but I have a mix of both creams and then a powder blush as well that I really love. So one of the first cream blushes that I love that really sparked like my interest in cream blushes is the e.l.f. Putty Blushes. I love these. This is the shade Turks and Caicos, and it's like a really pretty coral shade. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful. It's long lasting, super affordable. These are $6, and this is one of my absolute favorites, my go-tos for like a daily basis. I also really love if I want like a bright pop, especially for the summer. This is newer. This is from Makeup by Mario. I've really been liking his newer launch that he came out with, and this is his Soft Pop Blush Stick, and this is the raspberry shade. There's like a little brush on the back of here. I honestly don't like the brushes really, and I don't use them, but the actual product is really, really good. It's like a bright pink, but it just looks so cute on the cheeks, and it's like perfect for summer. I really, really like this. And if you go in with a light hand, you can sheer it out so it's not like super, super pigmented, but then you can definitely build it up if you want like a really blushed look. So I really, really like this as well, and I've been using that shade a lot. And then I wanted to include a powder blush as well, because typically I always set a cream blush with a powder blush anyways, and my go-to is this one from Milani. This is the Baked Powder Blush in the shade Peach of Me. It's like a really pretty peach, but then it kind of has like swirls of like a little bit of a highlight, so it gives like a pretty sheen to the skin. Overall, Milani's baked blushes, you can't go wrong with any of them. This is just kind of the go-to color that I've been using this summer, but all of them are beautiful. I really like Milani's Baked Blush formula, and they're affordable, so you can't go wrong with them. Okay, moving on to bronzer. I have a cream bronzer, so my absolute fave is the Tarte Breezy Cream Bronzer. I use the lightest shade, or the second lightest shade in this. I absolutely love this. There's like a matching brush that goes with it that's incredible, and I use this pretty much every day for my cream bronzer. So really easy to sculpt your cheeks with this. You can also bronze up the skin with it. It looks super natural, easy to use. I really love that. For my favorite drugstore bronzer, I just bought a new one of these because I couldn't find my old one, but this is the L'Oreal Bronze Please. I think I left it when I was on vacation. You get a huge pan of this, so it'll literally last you forever unless you lose it like me. It comes in a bunch of different shades. I just have the lightest one here, but it's a beautiful bronzer. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, so it's going to give you an all over glow. I wouldn't use it to contour with. I'm gonna show you guys a bronzer next that I contour with, because you want a bronzer that has no sort of like sheen to it to contour. You want it to be completely matte. Where this is great for all over bronze, give you a beautiful like bronzy glow. I really, really love it. And for contour bronzer, recently I've been grabbing for this one. This is the Makeup by Mario, also part of his new launch. He came out with bronzers, and these are the soft sculpt bronzers. So they're completely matte. They're made to be used to contour the skin, not necessarily like bronze it, you know, like they're really made to sculpt out your skin, and this works really well. It's natural, it blends really easily. Even though it's a powder, it's very easy to blend and it's not like too powdery. So really have been liking these and reaching for them a lot. And just so you guys know, I'll have links to like literally absolutely everything. I'll have it all down below in the description, because I know I'm throwing so much information out at you guys. So check the description. I'll have everything listed there if you want to come back and reference this video if you're like out shopping for makeup or whatever, because I know it's a lot. Okay, now for highlights. Oh my gosh, this was actually really hard because I love highlights. You guys know that. So to pick only 3 was almost impossible. So these are basically just the 3 that I have been using the most recently. Highlight is one thing though that I actually really don't like liquid highlights. I don't really use them. I much prefer powder when it comes to my highlighter. So a newer favorite is this one from Jouer. I discovered this like in the last 6 months or so, and this is their highlight in the shade Citrine. When you guys see this blindingness of this, like, oh, so stinking blinding. I obviously do not like subtle glows. Like I want boom in your face highlight, and that's exactly what this is. I'm obsessed with it. It's so pretty. And then go to a drugstore highlight is the Revlon Skin Lights Prismatic Highlighter. This was new this year. Really, really beautiful as well. Super glowy, and you can build it up to be like really, really blinding. So I love this one. Also for highlight, Ofra Rodeo Drive. When I was on vacation last, I left like some of my makeups. There's a couple things in today's video that I don't have because they're like my absolute favorites that I was traveling with, and then I left them there because I can't find them anywhere. But Ofra Rodeo Drive highlight, I'll put a picture of it up here on the screen. The best, it's so good. Their highlight formula is like incredible, and it's blinding, golden, beautiful, like one of my all-time favorites. Been a favorite of mine for like many years, and it's so good. I have to get another one because I don't have my old one anymore because I left it. All right, now we're gonna move into eyes. I'm first gonna start with eyeshadow palettes. So first I wanted to start with a small one. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I gravitate more towards smaller palettes nowadays that are just like simple and easy to use. But this one from ColourPop I absolutely love. It has basically everything you would need to make like an everyday look, but you can also like amp it up for nighttime. This is the Citrus Fizz Pressed Powder Palette. So it's super affordable. You get 4 shades, and it just makes the prettiest bronzy smoky eyes. So I've been reaching for this a lot. When I'm not trying to do anything crazy, I just want some shadow on. I really love that. ColourPop in general, you really can't go wrong with their eyeshadow palettes. The next one that I have is also from ColourPop. I just think they make the best eyeshadow palettes, especially for the price. Like their price points are low and the quality is high, and I love their eyeshadow formula. They do it better than I feel like any other really affordable brand does. Another palette from them that I absolutely love is the Your Golden palette, and I do actually have an affiliate code with ColourPop. You can use code Kelly, which will get you 10% off of your order from them, you know, from anything on their website. But this palette is newer. They came out with this earlier this summer, and I absolutely love it. You guys can tell clearly I like neutrals, but that's, you know, what my heart gravitates to. But this palette does have some peaches. It has the pop of blue. So there is a little bit of color in here, and I love like the look of like the blues with like the browns and stuff and like the golden. I love that combo. So it's a really, really pretty, and this palette gives you pretty much every option. There's 30 different shades in here, so I feel like if you get this palette, you could probably do any eye look you really want to do, unless you wanted something with like crazy colors. But I love this. The shadows are pigmented, blendable, easy to use. So definitely one that I've been reaching for a lot recently. And then also a newer one that I really like. This came out this year as well, or I think in the spring, but this is the Tartelette Juicy palette. In the past, there wasn't an eyeshadow palette from Tarte that I really, really loved. Like I liked their Tartelette palettes, but none of them were like my absolute favorites. But this one I really like. Again, also neutrals, I know, but it wouldn't be be true to me if I picked like the super colorful palette, because obviously I don't reach for them that often. Again, also buttery, blendable, pigmented shadows. This shadow I use literally all the time. The like writing is starting to come off on the bottom, but it's Reflect. I love this. It's like the most beautiful shimmer kind of shade, and I put it like in my inner corner, brow bone, like everywhere. But lots of different options here, mattes, shimmers, everything that you need a nice big mirror to, which is nice. Obviously Tarte is at a higher price point than ColourPop. The packaging on this is nicer though, because you do get the mirror. With the ColourPop ones, there isn't a mirror, but overall you can't go wrong with any of them. Okay, for mascaras, I have two OGs that you guys know I have loved and used for years. Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, which I absolutely love, and the Lancome Misor Big. I know I say it wrong, so I just call it Lancome Mr. Big, but this is really, really good if you have like not great natural lashes. Both of these are good for that. My natural lashes are really not that nice, so these are great. And then a newer favorite that I have this year that I really love, I know some people are like iffy on this. I feel like more people love it than don't. Some people I know this didn't work for, but for me, this really worked. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High Mascara. This one viral on TikTok and like everybody was trying it, and I really like it. It's one of the best lengthening mascaras that I've ever tried. These other two are really more volume based mascaras. This one's definitely more like lengthening and separating, but I love it. It's drugstore, so it's affordable, and I think it's really, really good. I would just recommend getting some sort of like oil based cleanser. If you're gonna buy this, it is a little bit more difficult to take off than a typical mascara. I don't know why, but with an oil based cleanser, you should be good. Alrighty, up next we have eyeliner. So I have two pencil liners, which is more so what I've been using recently, but I wanted to include a liquid liner as well. So for my waterline, I normally do a light color in my waterline, and I love this one from ColourPop. This is just the cream gel liner in the shade Exit. It's white, it's very pigmented, it's long lasting. Even in the waterline, this is literally like, I think it's $7, and then plus if you use my code, it'll be even cheaper, but it's always sold out on ColourPop's website, but I will link it down below if it is in stock. It's literally the best. So if you can ever get your hands on this, I would definitely recommend getting it. It makes you look awake, your eyes look wide and bright, and I just love it. I also really love the Makeup by Mario eyeliners. If I do like a smudged kind of liner look, I love to go with these because they're very creamy, so they're easy to smudge out and maneuver, and they're very pigmented as well. So I really like these, and they do have a brush on the other end too if you want to like flick it out to make a wing or anything. And then for liquid liner, one of my absolute favorites is just the liquid liner from ColourPop. This is just, I think they just call it liquid liner, and this is just the black one. It's pigmented, it doesn't budge, it does its job, and it has a precise little tip to it. It's not a brush, but it's not like, I guess it's a felt tip, but it's flexible and easy to maneuver, so I really like this as well. Okay, and then last but not least, we have lashes and lippies. So for lashes, I've really been into half lashes recently, so what I've been using is the Salon Perfect Extension Seeker 663s, and I basically just cut them in half and then wear them as half lashes, but they're also beautiful as full lashes if you're not into the half lash trend. I have some lash extensions on right now, but these actually look like lash extensions, even though they're not. They're just like regular, you know, glue on lashes, so love these. You can get them at Walmart. My all-time favorite lash of literally all time is also from Salon Perfect. These are the 614s, super affordable. They're literally like $8 for this 5-pack at Walmart. They're so good, they're beautiful, and they're so light on the eyes, you will like forget that you're even wearing lashes. So absolutely love those. If I want something more bold or dramatic, I do really love these. These are more expensive, and when it comes to lashes, I don't really love to spend a ton of money on them because I feel like you can get really nice lashes at affordable prices, but these are from Huda Beauty, and these do last many wears, which is nice. So in the long run, maybe they're not really any more expensive if you're getting more wear out of them, but these are the Lottie number 19. They're like the luxe silk ones. They're super wispy, really nice, definitely more of a bold lash, but if you want something like super bold, they are very pretty. Also, side note, this isn't really part of like the 3 categories, but I have been loving this. This is the Kiss Lash Glue Liner. When I first tried this, I didn't love it because I didn't really realize how to use it. It's basically like an eyeliner and a lash glue all in one, so you just go in and use this as your eyeliner. It has like a black pigment to it, and then you can stick your lashes right to it because it's also sticky. You do have to work fast with this though. Like when I first tried it, it had dried basically before I ever put the lash on. So you really do have to go in with this and then put the lashes on immediately, but it makes it so easy because it just simplifies it into one step instead of having to do 2 separate steps for that. So I do really like this. I just wanted to include that with the lashes because I thought it was worth mentioning. All right, and last but not least for lippies, I separated it out into lip glosses and lipsticks because I couldn't pick just 3 between like lip glosses and lipsticks. I was like, I can't do it. So We'll do lipsticks first. So my first and probably my favorite lipstick I don't have because this is one of the ones that I left when I was traveling. I can't find it anywhere, but it's Revlon Untold Stories. I have to order a new one because I'm pretty sure it's an online exclusive, but you can get it on Amazon. It's normally cheapest on Amazon. It's like $4 to $5. I'll put a picture of it on the screen. It's the most perfect, beautiful, pinky matte and has been my everyday go-to. It's a matte lipstick, but it's not super dry into the lips. You can layer lip gloss on top of it. It's really, really good. So highly, highly recommend that. I can link it down below. I'm going to also order it myself because I need to get another one, but it's so, so good. It's kind of like a drugstore dupe to a high-end favorite of mine. It pains me to even say this because this is an expensive, not pains me, but it is an expensive lipstick, but I really do love this. And I have been using it a lot recently. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. I don't know if there's anything else besides Pillow Talk, if there's like a specific name or number, but this is the lipstick. I have it on my lips today and it is just so, so good. I mean, well, I don't need to swatch it because you guys can see it on my lips, but definitely at a higher price point, but I do really, really love this. It's a beautiful like pinky mauve shade, perfect for every day and really any occasion. Now, when I do want a bold lip, my go-to recently has been from Rare Beauty, and that's her matte lip cream in the shade Inspire. It's kind of like a reddish orangey sort of shade, if you guys can see it right now. And it's nice because it's a matte, but it's not very drying. It's very comfortable to the lips, which I like. And it's just bold and so, so pretty. So especially in the summertime too, or like around the holidays, because it's more red than it is orange, but it's definitely bold, but it's really beautiful. So I love this. Okay, and then last but not least, we have lip glosses. So all-time favorite Tarte H2O gloss. This is also getting increasingly harder to find. So Tarte, please don't get rid of this because I love it. All of their H2O glosses are really, really good. They have like a variety of different shades. My personal favorite is Pink Sands. I used to like, there was another one called Sandy Toes, but I think they got rid of that one, which makes me very sad. But Pink Sands is really nice too. I'll put a little bit of it on right now, but it really just gives the prettiest like glossy, juicy look to the lips. And I love it. All of their H2O glosses are really good though. They come in like a bunch of different colors. I just like this little pinky one for like an everyday look. Beautiful. Also really love the Fenty Gloss Bombs. These are super, super glossy and juicy, but they still somehow feel like nourishing to the lips. They're not sticky at all and they're just really, really pretty. So I definitely reach for this often. This is the shade Fussy. I do have a drugstore dupe for this though that I do also really love. This is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. This one is in the shade Moon. It is like nearly identical to the Fenty. The Fenty one does last a little bit longer. This one I noticed kind of coming off of my lips quicker, but it is at a cheaper price point and it has hyaluronic acid in it too, which is really great. And I also need to give honorable mention to the Haus Labs lip glosses. I feel like I don't hear that many people talking about Haus Labs. It's Lady Gaga's makeup brand, exclusive to Amazon, so maybe like people aren't shopping on Amazon as much, but her stuff is good. And these lip glosses are really, really good. And this one is in the shade Corset. It's the Lay Riot lip gloss. Also a pinky nude shade, really long lasting, gives a beautiful like juicy look to the lips. So I love this as well. All right, you guys, so I think that is everything. I hope I didn't forget any categories of makeup. Let me know down below, what are your favorites? Like, let me know some of your favorite makeup products. I would love to hear, or if any of the ones I mentioned are one of your favorites, I'd love to hear that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye.